What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916. You're tuned into another episode of Fresh Out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel, represent. Go to freshoutseries.com, pick up some merch, grab one of the limited edition wig splitter t-shirts, and represent. I'm here with my friend Jasmin, aka Vixen, and you guys have been asking for more women on the channel, so here we are. And she has a pretty interesting story that I want to get on video with you guys, so you guys can maybe take some advice. And Jasmin, we were just talking about like some of the crazy things that you experienced and on your journey, which led to you kind of getting your life together. What was something you would say that had an impact on you that you look back now and you're like, damn, you know, I wish I would have made a better choice in that situation, or some advice you could give somebody in regards to a situation you've dealt with in the past?
Definitely the situation that led up to my incarceration. Like I said before, I had a financial services company, so I did have my life insurance license and some securities licenses for investments. And the incident that led up to my incarceration was great bodily injury. Long story short, I wish I would have walked away. My problem is not walking away. My problem is I'm looking for the smoke. If you want the smoke, I'm gonna give you the smoke. You want the flame, I got the flame. Whatever it is you need, I got it. That's my problem. And I don't know how to let shit go. So if I could look back now and tell my younger self, just let it go. A lot of things, just let it go. The hurt, the anger, just let it go. Had I not done that, and also, citizen's arrest means that you are definitely going to jail. Had I known that, would have never walked back. So I was approached, what happened was I was approached by someone, and I was originally assaulted, but I guess took it too far after that in self-defense. I took my self-defense too far. And I seen her sitting there talking to the officer, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back and let them know what happened, like a dumbass, probably high. And as I walked back, they told me that I was placed under citizen's arrest because she didn't feel safe, and that's what she had stated. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought that meant just sit on the ground, get her statement, da-da-da. No, that meant I was going to jail. So from there, that's what led to my incarceration. Out there in Kern County, it's a revolving door. Once you go in, they keep looking for you. Like, the cops never knew my face. Every 30 days, like clockwork, they're like, did you go to court? Did you? I'm like, dang, I just came out the store. How you know I didn't go to court? You know what I'm saying? Like, half the time I wasn't doing anything. I literally would be walking up the street and catch a violation or whatever. So in Kern County, there's not a lot of room for, even though they have a lot of programs, there's not a lot of room for rehabilitation. These programs are just designed for people to literally go right back in there. And a lot of people aren't utilizing them correctly. They're using them to get out of jail or lessen their sentences. So, I mean, I lost what I was saying. I don't even
Are you able to go back and get your record expunged?
I will be able to go back and get my record expunged. I'm finishing up paying the rest of my fines, and I'm looking into doing that.
Yeah, because I know a friend of mine just did that. They got the real estate license and their broker, so they were able to go back, get their record expunged, and get licensed. Cause I know would you have a 23 or a Series 7?
I had a Series 6, 6 and 36.
Yeah, so you can deal with securities or financial advice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, when I see these youngsters doing the smash and grabs, the stupid stuff,
The dumb shit.
They got a little mask on and think they're stealing some bags and they're with a flash mob, and oh man, there's a bunch of us, so they can't catch all of us. But I'm like, okay, 2 or 3 years later, you get that at your door.
Right.
So-and-so come outside, you're like, on this day you stole this, on this day you stole this, on this day you stole this, you got a warrant for your arrest. These young people, man, they think that it's no big thing because of, how lax they are, but they don't realize they're setting them up.
Yeah, people are doing a lot of things that are trending, stepping on crates or running in doing smash and grabs. It's not a popularity contest. Life is not a popularity contest, first of all. At the end of the day, any charges that you get, that flash mob didn't get it with you. So whether there was 25 of you or 35 of you, if they catch you by yourself, unless you telling on everybody, you're going by yourself. I never had a co-defendant or anything like that. I've never been interested in doing what everyone else was doing. And that's all I could say to people, do something because it's what you want to do.
And when you got your Series 6, I mean, how did you get involved in that world?
So I was actually selling cars before that, and I had met a couple from Fresno, the Lejas, Rita and Roy Leja. They were right across the street at the taco place that I was getting my tacos at from, and she's like, hey, I like how you're dressed. You have great personality. Have you ever thought about selling insurance? And I was like, I sell cars, maybe, I don't know. And so from there, it just skyrocketed. I hit the ball rolling, and from there I went from being a rep, and 6 months later I was a regional vice president for Primerica Financial Services. So I had the opportunity to speak at the Staples Center. I used to do my little appointments in Sanger and Selma. Like I said, I got a very big head very quick, and I felt like I was somebody really fast at a very young age, and I loved it.
Did you have a mentor outside of them, or did they kind of like share, advice? Because I know whenever you're looking like, especially business stuff, it's hard when you don't have somebody kind of like to ground you. Because, when you go to somebody like, hey, this and that, and they kind of sit you down and give that talk, and then you reflect and like, okay, yeah, you're right. It helps make better choices and better decisions. Did you have anybody you could turn to?
Oh yeah, we had a whole team, what we considered the hierarchy. And the OSJ of our hierarchy was Shane Perry, and he was the multi-million-dollar earner from Nipomo. And he was always in my ear reminding me of how great I was. I really think that's why I was able to go the distance that I went in such a short amount of time, because I was plugged in with millionaires like him. I was plugged in with their son Lenny, who was also on his way to making his first $1 million. So I was sitting at the table with millionaires, so I already felt like a millionaire. I walked in, wherever they walked in, I felt like money. I felt like money. So I really enjoyed the multi-level marketing aspect of that business. I was able to make money while sleeping. I was able to hire people and replicate myself. And I feel like he kind of helped make me a little bit like him. Just like you said, have a mentor. He gave me a piece of him, and I was able to give pieces of myself off to each one of my reps that I hired.
Well, no, that's actually, that's interesting, because like I said, I always, when I hear people who have reached like a high level of success, especially at a young age, the only difference is, like, I tell people, like, sometimes between those who have like reached a certain level of success and those who haven't is exposure and access to the people, because being wealthy or rich, I think it's more of a state of mind.
Yes.
And people who like, oh man, you can't do that. You're saying that because you've never met anybody who has.
Right.
But
right.
It's there. People do it all the time. It's just knowing somebody and being able to tangibly see it rather than just think it's, it doesn't exist.
Right.
So that's a big difference. What advice, as far as like a young person who's kind of like right now trying to figure out what career path they should take, or a young woman trying to figure out some choices she should make in her life, what would you like to share?
As a person who thinks entrepreneurship is very important, I always say go in business for yourself if you possibly can. If you have a niche or anything, learn something, pick it up. It's very easy to be your own boss, but you have to have that drive. You have to have that discipline. A lot of people want to be their own boss and then don't want to go to work. Well, you're not going to make money. So you got to have that drive. You have to, in anything, if you want to do something, if you want to own something though, that drive has to definitely be there. The book that got me most motivated, the moment that I started with Primerica, the first gift that Shane Perry gave me was The Secret. I read that book, then I read the next book, and I swore by that, manifestation. If you want all things positive, seek it, ask for it. If you're looking for all things negative, you will find it.
Yeah.
You're only going to find what you're looking for. So definitely seek out positivity. Definitely remind yourself how great you are. I remind my kids every morning. I do affirmations with my kids every morning.
Yeah.
I'm big on how you start your day is how you're going to finish your day.
Yeah.
And as a mom that I probably overreact a lot. I yell for a lot of things. When it comes to waking up in the morning, I try to have the most positive mindset. I wake my kids up as calmly as possible, remind them that they're destined for greatness and this, that, and the third, and that they can and will accomplish anything. I think it's important to remind yourself, because you might not always have someone reminding you. You might not always have someone in your corner, but just remind yourself that you can do it. You deserve a spot. You are worthy. You will accomplish any and everything that you put your mind to. And I've always had that mindset. I think that everyone should have that mindset. It doesn't, not in business, just in life, anything.
Well, you know, that mindset that you talk about, it's the mindset that I look at when I watch the Serena Venus documentary, and how the dad used to watch videos. He never played tennis.
Right.
He wasn't a tennis guy, but he taught them off of old VHS
Right.
VHS tapes, and they would go to a shitty park, hit the balls, deal with gang members, and he was able to take them out of Compton. And people might say stuff, whatever, but I mean, that's determination.
Yes.
You know, to have that vision, and you see this girl over here, she's young and pregnant. This girl over here, you know, hanging out with this boyfriend, or, you know, keeping them off the streets. And he had all daughters.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, with these last two, I'm going to make sure they play tennis. So, you know, having that and believing in it, and then, you know, being able to have the confidence to go to these country clubs and say, look, my girls are good, this and that.
Right.
And they've been playing like in these ragtag tournaments. I mean, that to me was inspirational even as a man. Like, wow, you know, this guy, he was serious. He'd work his job, then go out and hit them balls, you know, and do his thing. But yeah, that movie with Will Smith was actually pretty good in the documentary. But when I watched that, I'm like, wow, man, you know, anything's possible when you believe in yourself. And you just can't,
most definitely.
you could be right there, and it's just, you give up, and it's like, dude, if you would have just gave it one more week.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit more. You'll never know what it would be if you stopped.
That's right.
You're never gonna know what it would be. So my advice that I can give to any woman is just remember that we give life. There is not anything that we can't do. I think women are such amazing people, and they always feel that they need a man or something, you know. We men, no offense, y'all need us. You know what I'm saying? Your life was created from women. So I feel that women need to just embrace their own power. You don't need to seek it from anything else. No one's gonna give it to you. Just harness into your own self. You have to love yourself in order to achieve anything. If you don't love yourself, you're not gonna feel that you're ever worthy. So that goes for anyone. Love yourself, and once you love yourself, you're not gonna allow yourself to be mishandled, be misused, be mistreated, or put yourself in any situations that you don't deserve to be in.
Well, you know, on that note, I feel that women have been underrated, and you know, you got men trying to take positions that you guys and get credit for something only you could do.
Right.
I don't care how much you guys have something that men will never have.
Right.
And you can pretend all you want, but you're not gonna be able to do what you guys have been able to do, which
Right.
I feel is a disservice. So, hey, I give props to all the women out there who have created life, women who have shared in their experience of raising a child, because that can't be emulated. You can't pretend to be something that you can't do it.
Right.
It's not the same.
Right.
You know, so.
And that's another thing that there is a lot of everything. It's socially accepted. Everybody wants to have their sexuality be socially accepted, but where's the social acceptance for the color of people's skin? Where's that same equality? You want me to acknowledge that you now want to become a man or a woman or whatever, but Black people have been wanting to be acknowledged for years, and that's something that is a problem when we're asking for equality. But you want me to let this man use the bathroom in here with me. I'm not going against what God said just because you guys want to go against what God said, you know? So for me, women, we are pushed to the side a lot, you know, and it's unfair for a man to be able to change his body and feel that he is as equal to us. Because I'm never gonna say that I am a man, no matter how buff I get, no matter whatever it is. There are things that men can do that women can't do, and there are things that women can do that men can't do. And we have to respect that and leave it at what it is. The problem is everyone wants us to accept things that really we don't have to accept. You gotta accept the color of people's skin. You have to accept people's personal rights, but I don't have to accept the fact that you're no longer happy with your penis and want a vagina.
Yeah, and you know, it's also it's almost a slap in the face when they ask certain women, which you're standing strong, but I've seen them ask Black women in Congress, and they can't define what a woman is.
Because they're afraid to tell the truth. People are afraid to speak the truth, and that's one thing I've never been afraid to speak. I'm going to speak the truth whether you like it or not. It is what it is. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's black or white. It's man. In my world, it's men and women, and there's no other opposites. You're not able to switch it and reverse it. The only person who had the right to pick genders is God, and he did what he did from the beginning, you know? So.
Hey, we need more women like you speaking.
Thank you.
There you have it. Big Herc 916, getting down with Jasmin, aka Vicky. You tired of smelling like stanky butt, funky armpits? Wash your ass. Go to freshoutseries.com and pick you up a bar of soap.